Hello everyone, my name is Scott Sarich and I'm a resident of Jefferson County, West Virginia. I moved my family down here from Massachusetts just about 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And about 8 months into getting down here, we heard about, we had a knock on our door and we heard about this toxic factory called Rockwool being built in Ranston, West Virginia, which is just 6 miles from my home. Now just to back up a little bit, before we moved down here, we did a lot of research because we're into clean air and clean water, as every human being should be. And we learned that there was nothing really to be concerned about here, that the air was clean, the water was clean enough, and it was going to suit our needs. And we were gung-ho and we made our way down here. We've made our home here. We've made our friends here. We love this place. We love Shepherdstown. We love the community here. We love the people here. We've made so many friends. And all that is being threatened right now. Our health is being threatened, our air quality, our water quality. Little children are being threatened by this. There's an elementary school called North Jefferson Elementary School that is just 2,000 feet away from this proposed factory site. Now, in this state, you cannot build a elementary school next to a factory of this type, yet you could build a factory next to an elementary school that's already there. It makes zero sense. That's just one example of our lawmakers letting us down. There are a lot of lawmakers at the very highest levels of our government, I believe, that want this here. They want to industrialize as much of West Virginia as is possible. That's their economic plan for our state, is to ruin our air, to ruin our water at the expense of money. And we have people at the highest levels of our government who are invested in coal, who own coal companies, so they perhaps stand to benefit from these types of businesses in our county. And of course that's speculation on my point, but just it's dot to dot, just line it up. But anyhow, we are under serious threat here in Jefferson County by this toxic factory, this proposed toxic factory that will emit close to 156,000 tons greenhouse gas emissions every year. Many of those tons will be volatile organic compounds, VOCs. Some of them will be carcinogenic, such as formaldehyde. I don't understand. This is 2019. We have the science. We have the understanding. We know about this. We know that you don't put formaldehyde emitted from a factory next to an elementary school. It makes zero sense. It's awful. It's as bad as it sounds, people. And there's another elementary school within 2.5 miles. There are daycare centers even closer than that. Our high school is 2.8 miles away. This is disgusting. This is thousands of students in Jefferson County, let alone adults, elderly people, women who are pregnant, who have babies inside their bellies, who are still developing, kids with young developing lungs, people with asthma. We're all going to be threatened by this. This is bad news. And if you're for it, please read the science. Please do. Please read the science with an open mind. Because if you read the science about it and you still are for it, then I really think you don't care about your health. I think you don't care about the health of the people around you. But that's part of being a community, is not only caring about yourself and what's good for you, it's caring about what's best for the community. And this is not what's best for the community. Just drive around, look at the signs. There are hundreds of anti-Rockwool signs all around this county. Since I've lived here, I've not seen one pro-Rockwool sign. And if you go on social media, you'll see that there are thousands of people speaking out against it. There are a handful of very loud speakers who are speaking for it, but just a handful. I mean, really, the percentage of people who are for or against are probably 10 to 1, 20 to 1, and that's a conservative estimate. So for you leaders out there, listen to your constituents. We do not want this here. This shouldn't be anywhere in a populated area, but right now we're fighting for our homes here in Jefferson County, and all of you have a voice. I have a voice, and I'm the voice for my children. And my children are well aware of what's going on. It's unfortunate that my 12 and 10-year-old children have to hear all that's going on, that have to know that their home is under threat. They don't understand. They're kids, and they don't understand why anybody would build a factory that puts them in harm's way. And that's exactly what's happening here. Now, Let's talk about Rockwool for a second. They have a long history of putting these types of factories in poor neighborhoods. This is sited in a poor neighborhood here in Jefferson County. They have a strong history, they know what they're doing when it comes to these factories, of jamming them down the throats, putting them in before people even have a right to protest that this is going on. Now, a lot of this stuff was under the table, a lot of this stuff was not out in the public or open for public comment. There was very little about it out there until they had a lot of their permits in place, where the transaction of the land had already happened. And a lot of people think this is a done deal. Folks, it is not a done deal. I've been speaking to a lot of people out in the community who say, wait, isn't Rockwool a done deal? It is not a done deal. They still have a massive amount of people speaking against them, not only in this county, but also in Virginia, and also in Maryland, in Clark County, in Montgomery County, in Loudoun County. We had people at our rally where we had between 300 to 400 people at our recent rally at the Rockwool site. That gives you an idea that the fight is still on. And please loan your voices to the fight. Today, right now, with this first video, I am starting Voices Against Toxic Rockwool. And yes, I do use the word toxic when it comes to Rockwool. You know, I once had a proponent for Rockwool say, just you putting the word toxic in front of Rockwool doesn't make it toxic. No, they're doing that well right on their own. Now, their product itself, this insulation product, is not overly toxic in and of itself, but it's the manufacture of the product itself that makes it toxic. Look at the science. 156,000 tons of emissions every year, 80 tons of coal a day, over 100 diesel trucks, dump trucks, Mack trucks clogging up our roads every day, spewing diesel fuel, which is harmful in and of itself to our air quality. This is not something we want here in Jefferson County. Yours is the voice that we need to hear. My voice will be very, very loud in this, I guarantee you, probably because it'll be the most constant voice. But I want to hear from you. Let me know you want to lend your voice to this cause. The more people who lend their voice, the stronger we become. The stronger we become, the more power we have to defeat this toxic factory and the industrialization of Jefferson County before it ever gets off the ground. Now is the time to speak. Now is the time to let people know that we do not want this. Once this thing is in here, it's here for good. Once this thing is in here, it's the foot in the door for heavy industrialization in Jefferson County. Make no mistake about it. It is much easier to stop this stuff before it gets put in and is operational than it is after it's operational. So now is the time to speak. Right now, people, please lend your voices to it. This is Voices Against Toxic Rockwool. My name is Scott Sarich, signing out. Have a great day.